Welcome back to my prospect rankings for the 2023 NFL Draft, giving y'all a watch list going into the college football season. And today we're covering the safety group because I think there's some quality guys in this class. I really do, and we're gonna go over them today. I'm gonna give you my top 10 as well as cover some guys at the end of the video. But what's crack-a-lacking? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe if you wanna, enhance your life. And leave that nice little thumbs up. Just click it. Just click it once. Just do that for me. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, let's go ahead and get into this sucker with number 10, Quindale Johnson out of Memphis. Dude was a 3-star recruit from the 2018 class. Redshirted his freshman season, and then he saw four starts in 2019, where he actually played a lot, over 550 snaps that year. He made 9 starts in 2020 and was the starter all through 2021. And he actually was on the Thorup and Bednarik. Oh man, Bednarik. I'm terrible at pronouncing stuff. He was on the watch list for 2021. He also made second team all AAC. And let me tell you, man, this guy has got a very well-rounded game because he's got some good change of direction, very oily hips, greasy hips. He is so smooth out of transitions. He has good closing speed. Ball skills are there. As he has 6 interceptions, 11 pass breakups as a starter. As a run defender, he takes good angles. He's a very sure tackler for being someone from the secondary, where it's just under that 10% missed tackle rate. Shows a lot of versatility just all over the secondary. And he has the body type to do that at the next level at 6'1", 195. Now, I would say he's more instinctive. And sometimes he can find himself making up ground or biting a bit too early. So some will say maybe he's a bit over aggressive, and I think that's that's fine. I could live and die sometimes with a guy who is that much of a ball hawk in the secondary. He will sometimes open his hips a bit too early and get turned around. So there is that. Like, you may have the oily hips, but needs to get the time in a bit better. Again, that plays a bit into him being a bit over instinctive, a bit over aggressive. I wouldn't say he has elite explosiveness, whether it's coming downhill or out of his transitions, but overall his long field speed, his closing speed, I think is very nice, and he's definitely a name to watch out for. Currently got a 4th round grade on him. And then number 9, we're going back to someone I liked last year, in Tyke Smith, and he unfortunately didn't play a lot of games for Georgia, but he was formerly a 3-star recruit from the 2019 class, and he played in all of West Virginia's games, started in 8 his freshman season. He earned all freshman All-American honors that year as well. And again, played in all of his games back in 2020 as a slot/box safety hybrid. He decided to transfer after the season, went to Georgia, got surgery on his foot before the season, didn't see action till week 6, where in that very same game he tore his ACL. So a bit of bad luck there, but I'm very excited to see him this year. He might be one of the better, I would say, slot corner options. I think that's ultimately where he ends up in the NFL, because he's been exclusively used as a box safety slot corner. He's a very physical player and plays with good short area quicks. He recognizes route concepts and tendencies quickly and has good ball skills. 4 interceptions, 9 pass breakups through his career. He can deliver the hit stick and doesn't mind creating traffic for pass catchers or ball carriers. Now, he is a bit clunky as an athlete, and I would say his range is some would say it's a bit of a mystery. Because kind of is going back to his West Virginia, because again, this is where bulk and sample size comes from. There was only 29 snaps where he was 8 yards or more off the line of scrimmage. So in terms of range, we haven't really seen it, but I suspect it's probably not ideal. He doesn't look too smooth when changing directions and needs to be a better finisher. He's a hard hitter, but 18.3 missed tackle rate back in 2020. A little concerning. So again, probably a guy that's going to end up being a slot, but I think you could do that at a very high level. By the way, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. And the popular thing now to do on YouTube, if you really support the channel, is to share the video. So go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead, get back to the nitty gritty. At number 8, I got Malachi Moore out of Alabama, and a lot of people are pretty high on him. They were asking him where is he in my corners video because he mainly plays in the slot. But let's go over him real quick. 4-star recruit from the 2020 class. He started in the slot as a freshman before going down with a back injury after the SEC championship game, and then he started in 11 games back in 2021. But didn't play on defense in the SEC championship or in the playoffs again because of a nagging back injury. So, there, bam, red flag, nagging back injury, because we've seen it in back-to-back years. Now, wonderful athlete. He shows great short area quicks. He has legit closing speed. He's aggressive in the run game and at the catch point. He doesn't get caught on blocks and has been a solid tackler throughout his career. He plays big, and there's room in that 6 foot 190 frame to actually add more bulk. More muscle. He displays great ball skills. At least he did back in his freshman season. But then we go to like last year. Of course, we got the nagging back injuries. Nick Saban also made it sound like it was something that will only get better with rest. But missing time in the postseason back-to-back years is a bit concerning. His production kind of fell off in 2021 compared to his freshman season. The ball skills just weren't the same, and he struggled maintaining inside leverage. His completion rate went from 62% to 77% in 2021. I would say his backpedal technique and assignment discipline needs some work, and I think those were areas that were kind of like put in the light in 2021. Only playing in the slot, of course, will hurt his stock, and people will view him as only a slot guy. But again, being the athlete he is, I think he is a bit more versatile than just that. At number 7, I got J.L. Skinner. Hell of a name, by the way. Out of Boise State. Big boy, 6'4", 218. Former 3-star recruit out of the 2019 class. He didn't play, and it was wild because he didn't just play safety in high school, but he also played wide receiver, where he had over 1,000 all-purpose yards and 11 touchdowns his senior year. He also played basketball and was partaked in a little bit of the track and field. Freshman year, he made one start at safety in the season finale, but after that, he proceeded to be a starter for Boise State the next 2 years. He started in all 6 games in the shortened 2020 season, and he started every game in the 2021 season, making second team All-Mountain West. The dude hits like a brick through a windshield. Also, he brings that length that just can clog passing lanes. He does such a good job at tracking the ball, and just knows what's going on in the backfield. He shows good closing speed on ball carriers. His length makes him just alive anytime he is around the catch point. 2 interceptions, 4 pass breakups last season. He played a variety of different coverages there at Boise State, and he just has, again, going back, insane length. He possesses that enforcer mentality that I think the NFL will jump on in day 2. But he is kind of a box-only guy. He doesn't have the movement skills, nor is he really a fluid athlete. He's a bit stiff in the hips and doesn't really explode out of his back pedal. Part of that, he's a bit high in his back pedal. He was much improved as a tackler in 2021, especially going after like week 4, because his missed tackle rate ended up being 12% last season, but a lot of his missed tackles came in the first 4 weeks of the season. He's the type of guy that just relishes physicality, and he can get caught going after the big hit rather than simply wrapping up. But when you got length like that, dude, just wrap up. And he can be a bit late to his reads, and that was something that also kind of got better as the year went on. But if we're talking about premier box guy, like box only prospects in this class, He's kind of that guy. Kinda that guy. All right, on to number 6. I got Jalen Catalan, and let me go to bet this because talked about that he has an extensive injury history in my chat sports mock the mock, and this cat, mind you, and you're gonna know who you are because I know you're a watcher of the channel. You comment a lot. Big Arkansas fan. He has Arkansas logo in his profile, and I can appreciate that. But you're just wrong about his injury history because let's go through it. Okay, formerly a 4-star recruit in the 2019 class. He only appeared in one game his senior year of high school because of an ACL injury. He played basketball and baseball, so guy was a multi-sport athlete. Was redshirt his freshman season after playing in 4 games. Also dealt with a labrum tear that year. He played in all 10 of his games in 2020 despite a meniscus surgery before the season, and was a first-team All-ACC, so there's a little bit good there. He played in the first 6 games of 2021, but had his season cut short because of a shoulder injury, which ended up being a labrum tear, and a broken hand. Injury history. We got ACL, labrum tear, meniscus surgery, shoulder injury / labrum tear, broken hand. I just named 5 injuries that have happened in the last 4 years. Watch yourself. Just do a little bit of research. Anyway, this dude has range for days. This is why I love him as a prospect. Might have the best range in this class. He can close on plays so quickly, and he tracks the ball so well in air. He shows great ball skills, 5 interceptions and 9 pass breakups in his career. He is explosive when coming downhill and will throw his body around to make a play on the ball carrier. He's literally kind of like it was a Daxton Hill last year, just kind of like propels himself like a rocket at the ball carrier's legs. He can also catch bigger ball carriers off guard with that. Again, injuries, that's kind of the biggest concern. Health and durability are going to be huge concerns for him when going to the NFL. He's a little short for the position. His tackling style is a bit problematic in the NFL. He likes to come in like a heat-seeking missile, land the lumber. It has led to a 20.3 missed tackle rate in 2021. He does get bodied in the red zone. If you go back, all of the touchdowns he has allowed throughout his career have all been in the red zone. So there's that, but dude's a wonderful, wonderful prospect. On to the top 5. Number 5, RJ Moden out of Michigan. I got a lot to talk about him with. First off, 6 foot 221 pounds. So you look at that, it's like, oh, okay, maybe he's a box only guy, but this dude's a ridiculous athlete. He was a 4-star recruit out of the 2020 class. His father was a 6th-round pick back in 1987 and played 4 years for the Philadelphia Eagles. He played both football and baseball in high school, and that does become relevant because he chooses Michigan because they allowed him to play both football and baseball. He was recruited as a safety, however, he also played running back in high school, wrapping up his high school career with over 3,500 all-purpose yards, 41 touchdowns to go with, on defense, 8 sacks, 8 forced fumbles, 14 interceptions. This dude was an insane athlete. And going as a junior in high school, he had a pitching record of 5-1, a batting average over 500, had 25 RBIs. The guy is just a freak athlete. His freshman year he primarily played special teams, seeing his first action mid-November, thus preserving his red shirt. And then in 2021, he played 14 games with all 14 games with 5 starts at safety. Keep in mind they had Brad Hawkins and Daxton Hill, though Daxton Hill was playing more of that slot role there for Michigan. But watch out for this cat. He has the physical build and tools to be a first rounder. We just need a larger sample size. Movement skills and his fluidness is just ridiculous. You just don't see this from a guy that's 221 pounds. He is legit a freak athlete. You see the baseball background as he has the range of a center fielder and will make plays downfield. He's so explosive out of his stance. I mean, and back in high school, he recorded a 40-inch vert, so that doesn't surprise me. Flies all over the field. He navigates through traffic exceptionally well. He displays good change of direction and lateral quicks. He has a very imposing and dense frame and just can move with it. Biggest thing is simply he needs to play more football. He only saw significant snaps just last year. Let's see a bit more. And I think he saw less than 500 snaps last year. So getting a large sample size could be a massive rise to this guy's stock. Should be. It really should be. Few things are some minor nitpicks, as his long field speed is all right. I would say is all right, and he should clean up as a tackler, though 11.6 missed tackle rate is not at all that bad, but he does occasionally slip off. Ball carriers. He really with Daxton Hill and Hawkins there, he really just got to sit back and kind of like wait for the play to come to him. So it's going to be curious to see how he does now with a more prominent role, him having to step up after losing such good players there. But I'm a huge fan. I want to be quick to the RJ Moden train. If you follow me on Twitter, I was already tweeting about this guy. At number 4, Jordan Battle, a guy that I'm surprised didn't come out last year, because I think I had a late first or late first to mid second round grade on him. And I was talking to Alex from Hammer Sports. Apparently, he heard that he didn't get his projection apparently wasn't nearly as that high from whoever these guys that advise prospects if they should come out or not. Apparently, it wasn't his projection wasn't that high, so that's why he decided to come back. Because I was a bit like scratching my head, why would you do that? But formerly a 4-star recruit at 119, he also played basketball in high school. His freshman season, he worked his way into the starting lineup, making 4 starts. In 2020, he started every game, but ended up ejected in the national championship versus Ohio State because of a helmet to helmet, and that will become relevant when we start talking about him. And he started every game in 2021 and was a first-team All-American. I love this guy's combination of strength and explosiveness. He has imposing physicality, and every play he strikes fear into anyone that wants to come over the middle of the field. He plays a lot of man coverage, which kind of makes sense given how fluid I would say he is as an athlete. He plays with good speed and explosiveness downhill. He plays with good balance, navigates traffic well in the run game, and has shown natural ball skills. 3 interceptions, 4 pass breakups, and 2 of those interceptions last year were pick sixes. Biggest weaknesses, his aggressiveness as a tackler. He's like a safety from like the 70s or 80s with how he hits, and he needs to lower the strike zone because a lot of times those are going to be helmet to helmets. Those are going to be targeting calls. You got to watch out. He needs to lead more with the shoulder. He just needs to lower the strike zone altogether. He is prone to targeting calls, or at least he has been throughout his career as a starter at Alabama. He just wants to lay the lumber, and usually a missed tackle waiting to happen. In the NFL, though, it hasn't been an issue at Alabama. 8.5 missed tackle rate in 2021. He can be a bit smoother in his transition from his back pedal, as he usually loses the step in coverage because of it, and there are going to be serious questions about his range, but I'm still a fan. Got him as a top 50 prospect. And let's talk about my first round safety, starting with Antonio Johnson out of Texas A&M. Was formerly a 4-star recruit from the 2020 class. He played in 7 games with 1 start in the slot as a freshman, and he started every game in the slot in 2021. And now he actually moves to safety this year, now with Leon O'Neal gone. So I think that'll just rise his stock as he plays better, as he'll get more play and time in more of an NFL scheme. Because keep in mind, these guys that the NFL views as slot only, they typically slide. They don't get picked in the first round. Now, dude has a great frame, super long, explodes downhill. I mean, dude, 6'3", 200. Yeah, of course he's super long, but shows very good closing speed. He is really a do-it-all box player at this point. He can blitz. He can stop the run. He literally can do it all. 8.4 missed tackle rate in 2021. He can rock receivers underneath. Like, the dude's built. He's got good bursts. The hustle is just magnificent. Now, some of the questions: he opens his hips a bit too early and can get worked by shiftier slot receivers. Likewise, on off coverage, he transitions too early in his back pedal, hurting his ability to really make plays underneath. It'd be nice to see more splash plays in coverage, but I think we're going to see a bit more of that this year for Johnson. On to number 2. Brandon Joseph, I still believe in you. Now he makes the move to Notre Dame. Was formerly a 3-star recruit in the 2029 class. However, he only appeared in 4 games his freshman season for Northwestern, decided to redshirt. And then in 2020, being his best season, started every game for Northwestern, picking off 6 passes. He was a first-team All-Big Ten. And then he started all games once again in 2021. Kind of didn't have like the same banger year as he did in 2020. I think I had him at 72 on my like final big board before he decided to transfer to Notre Dame. He's going to be now replacing Kyle Hamilton, so there's going to be a lot of expectations when it comes to Joseph. But the NFL is going to love this guy's versatility. Career snaps in the box. He had 600 in the box. He had 400 deep. He had almost 400 in the slot. He's probably going to be, I would say he's capable of playing outside corner as well. This guy can mirror NFL caliber receivers. He has very greasy, very oily hips. He's very smooth out of his transition. He's got insane range. He continually finds himself at the right place at the right time. 9 career interceptions. He just looks fluid as a mover and navigates through traffic well around the line of scrimmage. He has really some nice bursts coming downhill. However, how he plays the run, because of his lack of bulk, he's not a consistent finisher. 20.8 missed tackle rate last season. I'm not sold on his explosiveness out of his breaks and out of his transition, but like, again, the dude has massive range. That's why I'm projecting him first round, much like I did early on last year. I think worst case scenario, he ends up being a day 2 guy, but I'm a big fan of him. And then my number 1, I got Brian Branch out of Alabama. This is like the 3rd Alabama player in my safety rankings? Wild. He was a 4-star recruit out of the 2020 class. As a freshman, he mainly played on special teams, but did play a bit in the rotation in the secondary, even making 3 starts. And then he played a big role in 2021, seeing 624 snaps with 7 starts. He split time at the star role there for Alabama with Malachi Moore. And this dude, I freaking love him. He has a fearless play style. From the run game to the pass game, he wants to make big plays, and he has a true nose for the football. There's like no hesitation when it comes when it's time to put his foot down and go. This dude accelerates, and he's willing to do it into contact. His willingness to throw his body around, but it's not like he does that and he's still a sure tackler. Like, he has 1 missed tackle throughout his whole career. So it's like, yeah, he throws his body around, but he's normally taking the guy down, or like almost always taking the guy down with him. I love the short area quicks. The closing speed's real good. He's displayed great ball skills that you want from the position. 2 interceptions and 9 pass breakups through the last 2 seasons. He also has shown good patience as a blitzer and the ability to make plays out there in space. Like, watch for a big year from this guy. Like, Branch has all the tools to be a top safety in this class, so I'm betting on he is going to be the top safety in this class. He primarily played out of the slot and probably should play more off the ball. He can be a bit stiff out of his transition, and really a lot of that's just technique. And it's not because he's not a smooth athlete. It's just he's a bit high out of his back pedal, it's an easy fix. He does have a bit of a high risk, high reward type of mentality, and will sometimes find himself out of position early in plays. And he's like having to play catch up. Like, you saw a bit of that in 2021 as it became more apparent with the increase in playing time. But I absolutely love what this guy brings to the table. He is my top guy going into this season. Let's talk about some of the guys that just missed the list. Damani Richardson out of Texas A&M. Like, all in all, he's just a good safety. Like, he really is. He might end up being one of my top, like, box guys, like, because he's just not an elite athlete. But he is just a good safety. And this is where I had him last year, too, when I thought he was coming out. Avery Young out of Rutgers, which is wild because this cat, he transferred from being a corner to playing safety, which could be indications of a lack of maybe short area quicks, lack of burst, lack of just overall speed. But he's been very productive, and I got like an early day 3 grade on him. A lot of people like Rashad Torrance, the second out of Florida, but I just see that guy as being a box guy. Alton Julian out of Oregon State. He's coming off a pretty nasty knee injury, and they don't know if he'll even start the season. But at the end of the year with Oregon State before the injury, I thought he showed a lot. Like, I thought he looked pretty darn impressive. He actually has a pretty interesting background. Let's see here, because he played for the College of San Mateo, and ended up being like a JUCO guy. So yeah, no, like, I think he's excelled. A lot of people like Kendrick Duncan. I think that guy's gonna wind up at linebacker out of Louisville. I really do. There's a couple of guys I need to go back and watch, but I'm pretty convinced I won't love them. Like Christopher Smith out of Georgia. I gotta go back and watch, but like one of the biggest plays that stuck out to me last year, because is when I was watching Keely Ringo, was Christopher Smith's botch of just getting late to the play, where Ringo thought he had support over the top on Jameson Williams, and then he turns around and finds out Smith is out of position. So I just assume I'm not going to be like that high on him. I've heard a lot of good things about Akeem Dent out of Florida State, but haven't got to him yet. I will before the end of the season. I guess there's a guy like Marcus Hooker, former Ohio State safety, but a lot of character concerns. Now he finds himself at Youngstown State, so I doubt he's going to be even draftable. But there's also, the Iowa State transfer, right? Ashim Young. That's a guy I want to watch. I think he can maybe sneak into the top 10. He was formerly from Iowa State. He's a grad transfer now, playing at Ole Miss. Ole Miss did a really good job in the transfer portal this year. But, yeah, those are just a couple of guys I want to mention. Rashad Winston, another guy I feel like is a box only, which probably ends up being early day 3 at UTSA, but someone that I thought was maybe going to declare last year, but didn't. But yeah, that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. As always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.